like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
A little hungry here off to start. Shesterkin, they score! By Shesterkin, a well-devised play by San Jose. Now celebrating for Smith. He scores! A great move around Lafreniere to open up some space. Back to the line. Ball. Here's Josh scores! Back up ice. That one knocked her backwards scores! He makes the stick available, and Sullivan is livid.
Phil, I got to ask you, and I'll start with you on this one. Are the New York Rangers the scariest thing you've seen this month?
Well, Ghost. That's what the Rangers have been. It's gotten to a point where not only are they not scoring goals, they're not scoring goals against good teams. And then when they do score goals, they let up almost as many, if not more. Like the Montreal game. They were down in that game, and they came back and they won. I mean, San Jose, it took a Taylor Radish hat trick for them to get to overtime. Taylor Radish and Mika Zibanejad are tied for this team's lead in goals. This is just bad. This is really, really bad. Things are not going in the right direction. I know people are still saying it's October, it's not even November yet. Well, it's getting late early, as Yogi Berra once said.
You tried your best, and you failed miserably.
So you need to find a way to start winning games, because in 3 weeks, and American Thanksgiving, as Anthony said many times, it's usually kind of a barometer of what you're getting from a team for the rest of the season by that point. If you're not in a playoff spot by that time, then you're probably not going to make the playoffs. Obviously, that's not set in stone. I mean, there are obviously tons of exceptions to that, but you are fighting an uphill battle if you're not in the playoff spot. So this team needs to either figure it out, or they need to go the other way and they need to start selling the pieces off sooner than later. And I think we're probably looking at the latter, more than the former, because I don't see, even with Dint and Trocheck back, like where the offense is coming. Honestly, there's no direction for this team. We don't know what they're doing. We don't know where they're going, and I honestly don't see the light at the end of the tunnel right now.
He knows enough to see the writing on the wall, and this is not a good team. Your best offensive players, Panarin's going to be 34 on tomorrow, actually, the 30th. This is his birthday.
Yep.
Both Mika and JT Miller are 32, going on 33 later in the season. Trocheck's 32. It's time to retool, I don't know, rebuild, whatever you want to call it these days, but there's not much, as Phil said, there's not much bright spots, because the cupboard is almost bare in prospects. It's a team that spinning their wheels. There's no direction, and yeah, you know what? It certainly is early, and admittingly, I really don't put too much stock into the standings right now. I more so look at how the team's performing on the ice and their play, because I mean, let's be honest with you. The Islanders and Rangers are separated by 1 point. They're both at the bottom of the standings. However, they're both 2 or 3 points out of being third in the Metro. So the standings right now doesn't really matter. It's more so how the team is playing and where they're trending. And the way I see this Ranger roster right now is I don't see them really going anywhere. And honestly, them making the playoffs, I think, would be the worst thing for this organization, because then James Dolan, Chris Drury, will have some sort of blind faith and say, oh, this team made the playoffs, and let me double down on this core. And that's the worst thing they could do right now. Like,
Double down.
Imagine them re-signing Artemi Panarin and then, trading some of their few assets they do have for another player who's kind of in their prime now. That would be a horrible mistake.
First things first, it's over. That's you have to admit it's over. The Rangers are not a Stanley Cup team. if you didn't know this, first off, you didn't know this going into the season. I don't know what the hell you're looking at. But not only are they not going to really compete for a Stanley Cup, because I don't think they're a playoff team either. Now you're locked into Mike Sullivan and Igor Shesterkin, and you have to rebuild. JT Miller is, I don't even know what the hell he is. Reunions don't work. I said this before, and you know what? I started to buy into it at the end at last year. I'm like, he had 32 points, or maybe he could be like that change of pace. Maybe he's that guy that's going to hold people accountable. I'm not seeing that right now. Not seeing pride in this team. This team doesn't score at home. Anthony mentioned last week how the Islanders got reinforcements coming in the future. Where are those guys for the Rangers? They're all basically gone, or they're just not there. And there's not going to be those play drivers that are going to come in. There's not going to be this huge culture change. The Rangers right now, the answer should be pretty bleak. And the truth out of it is Chris Drury needs to go.
Got a face?
Get the fuck out. Leave.
Now, I don't know if you could get an interim GM that can make tough decisions mid-season.
Well, that's what your assistant is for.
Right. But that's also where the problem is. Drury he's going to have the same mindset as Drury. You need to have a guy that's going to come in and go, you know what? We need to move on from player X or player Y. We're going to talk about one of them later on in Bar Talk. But
you needed Matthew Darsh.
Yeah, you needed a Matthew Darsh. The Rangers should have fired Chris Drury and gone after Matthew Darsh. Now Matthew Darsh is creating a hell of a team across the river in Elmont. And now you have the Rangers that are left there going, well, we tried this.
They don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
I mean, maybe have a coach that doesn't play his son-in-law 19 minutes to not score. I'm not... And again, I'm not trying to take a cheap shot at Connor Sheary, but he barely should be on an NHL roster. Never mind top 6.
Yeah.
This is not brain surgery. Believe it or not, there are other places than Boston that has hockey. So let's get people that aren't from Boston or related to Boston. Come on. This is actually driving me crazy.
Doesn't anyone notice this? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
How many assholes we got on this ship anyhow? Yo!
They need the clear house. The rot is in the wood. You have to level the house. It is over. That's why signing Shesterkin and not trading him last year was a bad idea. That's why trading for Miller was a bad idea, even though all it did, I mean, the Rangers ended up losing the first-round pick that Pittsburgh took and is getting production out of it.
JT Miller trade.
I was very hesitant about that, and then I started to buy in. No, this is thank you, Sean. But no, this has to change. And just running out the next assistant GM isn't the answer either. Go outside the organization. This is the New York Rangers. Somebody should be stepping over somebody to go be the GM there. And you know what? They better do it soon.
I don't think anybody gets fired. At least not this early. Like, the only way I could see Dolan trying to get fired, or Dolan firing Drury, rather, I'm sorry, is if things really fall off the rails and there's even more mutiny in the locker room. And I don't think there's going to be more mutiny in the locker room because of the fact that some of the guys are gone from that. And that I don't think they want to do that to Sullivan. I think they're playing hard for Sullivan. It's just this team's not good.
Well, guess what? Phil, it's going to get worse. It's going to get much worse. And it's going to get much worse quick. Because if you look at their schedule, they have about a couple games in November. You might look over and go winnable. You know what's winnable? When you lose 5-1 to Calgary, a team that has 24 goals on the season, 5 of them are against the New York Rangers. You got a team like San Jose, at least they're scoring because they got Macklin Celebrini, but even they got 32 goals. 6 of them were against the New York Rangers. So you can account for almost a big portion of your production. All you got to do is face the Rangers. And the thing is, I'm not even blaming Igor Shesterkin. I'm not even saying Mike Sullivan's not doing a good job. They're just not a good team. And you can't have talent evaluators, everybody in the executives, from the talent evaluators down. All of them got to go. You might want to say I'm overreacting. Sure. What prospect have the Rangers traded that is doing well elsewhere? They are not developing talent even when they identify the talent. Like, at least we talked about Marek Zidlicki 2 weeks ago or last week when Matthew Schaefer had a hot start. And I'm trying to sum this up quickly, guys, because also the leadership in the locker room is also where all the rot is in the wood. You have to demolish the house. Sorry, if you're expecting a Stanley Cup, you're expecting roses out of me. No, it's got to go. I'll make a more detailed video on this later.
This schedule, up until like January 2nd, the Winter Classic, is not kind to the Rangers. It's not.
Yeah, well, you know what, Phil? Here's the bottom line now. The way the Rangers didn't respect, and I didn't get on that one. They didn't respect their opponent, according to JT Miller, when they faced the San Jose Sharks.
How
and
they
got smacked around at home. Now the Rangers are the ones everybody doesn't respect. Think about that one.
You arrogant ass. You've killed us.
Now the Rangers are the ones that look over and go, well, we got to deal with Shesterkin. But if we put 2 on the board, we win the game. So, and the only time the Rangers even stepped up to play a game after they fell behind was the Montreal game. So good for them. They put out their effort this month. They don't need to do anything else.
Listen, here's the thing. If you can't spot the sucker in your first half hour at the table, then you are the sucker.
Your ideas are intriguing to me, and I wish to subscribe to your newsletter.